The Fan.
Good morning. Welcome into Football Sunday on 1080 The Fan.
Thought we were canceled, didn't you? No, we're back.
The questions were there. We hosted Primetime one day, and that was literally the last time we were on these radio waves.
Right?
Yeah. But no, we are back. First show of 2024. Still wild to say, but that's how time works.
Yeah, man. Like it just was really unfortunate or cool, depending on where you were. But man, 2 weeks in a row, no show, and only because of holidays. Right?
Well, Seahawks are to
blame.
Seahawks are to blame on Christmas Eve.
Seahawks are to blame on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
But it was real. Christmas Eve, so I'm pretty sure all of us would have been like, you know what, man, I think I'll go ahead. But New Year's Eve, I would have been like, okay, I'll do a show today. Well, sounds fun.
We got Wally pipped on New Year's Eve for the Ducks pregame show.
Which, come on.
Well, are you gonna
get it? But man.
The other option, the guys wake up at 4:30.
Yeah, the other option was them showing up on New Year's Day.
Yeah,
which is not even 6 a.m. That's when the show would have started for them.
Yeah, which was for sure not happening. So understandable. I can't stand getting up early. Sunday is the one day that I just do not like waking up early.
Oh, I mean, trust me. This morning, even I feel like I went to bed. Maybe it was like 11:30 last night, so I was like, that will give me my 8 hours.
Okay. That's Grandpa Joe. Okay. Well, I think I turned it at 9:15, something like that.
Not at all. Friday night for sure. I could not keep my eyes open, but when that 7:30 alarm hit, it was not hitting like I wanted it. I changed my alarm sound to the Revel, the Army bugle, what soldiers wake up to. Yeah, I was like, maybe that will inspire me. Like if I hear that, it'll make me think of the soldiers that have to jump out of bed when they hear that. Like they can't lay in bed once that trumpet starts going off.
That's
big mistake, dude.
It's the most uncomfortable way to wake up every day is just to hop out of your sleep.
Yeah. Actually, that's a great question. What are your alarms to wake you up, or what songs do you use? And that's really funny because I used to have a Nickelodeon. Well, I don't know if you remember this back when we were all kids, but there was a Nickelodeon alarm clock that had a selection of sounds. That was one of them.
It slimed you in the morning.
Yeah, slimed you in the morning.
Yeah.
All that.
I wish it would have included that.
If it had different themes.
Who loves orange soda? Kale loves orange soda.
Might be onto something there. Let's not give our ideas away to people to go out there and make money off them. But
Rugrats theme.
That type of alarm. No, I have those are one of those things I don't really care about on my phone. So the alarm, I don't care what sound it makes.
I just rocked with the generic iPhone one forever, and then I was just trying to again find that motivation. Let's be real, that Army bugle, we're done with it.
Yeah.
After this morning,
don't do it, dude.
I was I tried it for 3 days, and that thing just absolutely not. That is not a peaceful way to wake up at all.
It's not at all. It's not serene.
That's the thing with alarm.
Very jarring.
Perfect word that you use, serene instead of jarring. You need something that is going to wake you up, but it's not oh my God, F you. So I've found a mix between the two. When I really, really need something immediately, okay, I know I'm going to be sleeping and I have to get up and go. Mariners theme. It's kind of sad, but that will get me going. But the best one, guys, that will
make you very sad to wake up to now at this point in time.
You're not joking. But my go-to, this is awesome. Kissed by a Rose by Seal.
That's a nice way to...
No, you go with the chorus. Yeah. No, you go with the chorus.
That is a nice way to wake up.
If I compare you to a kiss from... No,
I think that's a great way to wake up. Just the intro is okay.
It really is.
It
is.
I think another song that'd be great to wake up to is the Bulls intro.
Yes.
That'd be something pretty cool to wake up to every morning as an alarm clock. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to do that.
Should I open this up to the Vancouver Ford text line?
I think we should.
I'll text the van RVA Vancouver Ford text line. Dollar goes further at Vancouver Ford. Your dollar. Oh, Sunday morning, right? They treat you right before, during, and after the sale. The ever important after the sale. Visit VancouverFord.com. Text line 503-864-6326. I'm sure this is exactly what we want to talk about on Sunday mornings. What is your alarm sound on your phone? They're I'm literally listening to it right now.
Or what would it be? I think that's if you could really
Walking.
choose, what your alarm sound would be.
We got a text in walking on sunshine.
It's a great way to wake up.
Yeah. I
That's a jazzy little tune. That's a jazzy little number to wake up to in the morning.
I definitely need to change it. You know, I the effort was there, the intentions were right with my Army bugle, but it's just
there are a lot of
we're
people.
done.
There are a lot of people that were in the service that find that sound soothing. And
The Army bugle?
Probably,
Oh, yeah,
there were
probably.
probably a lot of people that were in
Like
the
the
service
rooster crow,
that were
you know?
like,
Yeah.
man, I was so used to that. Like now, this sounds
it
weird. But I know,
triggers their PTSD.
I know a lot of people that, have lived obviously in, really, let's just call them urban neighborhoods, right? And there'll be, they move to a nicer neighborhood and like, yeah, this is weird. It's too quiet.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I've heard that. Like, used to the city sounds.
I'm used
falling
to those
asleep
things
too,
and
yeah.
everything like that. So there are some people that, probably went through basic training or something like that and was like, that sound let me know it was time to get up. It let me know it's time to start my day. So I'm
Yeah.
sure there's a lot of people that still use it, especially
See,
after they got out of the service.
That's the problem that I have. Don't have any basic training or any Army training in
We
my
should
history.
go. We should go.
It's
Seriously.
the Army?
The Army?
I know.
Hell no.
I know. So listen to this. I think
Just
as
for
a-
like a week.
So there's this one time, and you missed
Stop
this,
by.
Jordan. You missed this, and I think we spoke about this before. There's one time that the fan did we did a draft combine,
Oh yeah, I've heard of this.
and
yeah.
we did the whole, and it was awesome. I
Someone-
got fourth, which was kind of, whatever, but
Someone pulled a hammy, from my understanding. I think
it was Suk.
Yeah, Suk pulled a
Yeah,
hammy.
Suk's gonna pull
Former
something.
NFLer pull a hammy.
Suk's gonna pull something, out at that point, man. Cooley did the whole thing in a suit.
Rich Eisen
yeah, he did the
style.
whole Rich Eisen thing. So it was pretty cool to
God.
watch that. But we should go to like a basic training kind of
No.
thing. Why
I'm
not?
gonna
You
fail.
would do it.
Because I'm gonna get third, and I'm gonna hate my life by the end of
it
it.
doesn't have to be like
I'm vomiting like
Competitive,
15
like-
minutes into that.
it doesn't have to be like competitive to see like who's the best. But yeah, let's see if we could get through a day of basic training.
No, I'm a head coach now. I'm just standing on the sidelines. I don't
I'm on
do any
board.
hard work. I make people run. I don't do the running.
If we
okay?
can do beers after.
Yeah, that's easy.
Okay, like
that's easy.
I'm gonna suck at it. I'm gonna look like a fatty, but I'll do it.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
I've always I see these things. I'm like, man, I feel like I could do that, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, I'm not really sure.
Keyword feel.
Yeah, as I watch these things and I see him climb the high wall, I'm like, that might be a problem. I'm
I
not
feel
really
like
big on heights, but I feel like I could get through this.
I feel like I could kick a 30-yard field goal, but then I get
No,
in
you
front of
don't.
the ball.
You don't actually feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
you could, do you?
Like it
It would be
if
a-
it's
a
on the
line
20-yard line.
drive.
Yeah,
If
right?
it's on the 20-yard line, yeah, I think we all
stinger,
think we
just
could do
barely
it. But
clearing the
exactly.
cross.
I think I can probably get up a nice 15-yarder. That's about it.
So on the 5,
On the 5. I'm going to be honest about what I can do as a kicker. Like, yeah, I went to a black high school. We didn't have a lot of kickers around. So it's just kind of one of those things, man.
You
But
recruited the soccer player.
we tried.
Yeah, that was.
We tried.
We did that every year at Sherwood.
Yeah,
we
it's
didn't
just-
care. We're like, all right, who's the goalie?
Yeah, right? Yeah, seriously. So, yeah, do I
Like the
think I could
Cowboys
kick
kicker
a
this year.
30-yarder like, Vinatieri over here? Probably not, but yeah, give me a nice 15 to 10 yard, put it on the 1, 11
put it on the
put it on the
1.
11-yard field goal. I got you.
Yeah, speaking
sure.
of not being able to do things your younger self could accomplish, humbling experience for me last night. It was a great day. Saturday started off wonderful. We had our first basketball game. Head coach Fisher makes his big debut, big 42-13 victory, but that's not
Yeah.
the story, okay? Joey might have dropped 21 points, but that's not important, okay?
Okay.
Half the team's production on the offensive end, dude getting buckets. Later that night, it was a friend's birthday party, and we went to Envision Golf, one of the golf simulators. Went to Claim Jumpers right across the street over in Bridgeport.
Great bread pudding.
Bread pudding? And did not try the bread pudding. They had a tomahawk steak you could buy for $2, $150.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was wild. I was looking
Yeah.
at some of the prices on the menu. I was like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's a bit of a reach for some of the things on the
Yeah.
menu, but
Two
they have
tomahawks,
everything on the menu.
Yes, and that's the thing is they have everything on the menu. So when it came for my time to order, I was like, just a Nashville hot chicken sandwich.
This
okay,
one.
yeah. I was like, let's just go chicken sandwich.
Simple.
This is now the third straight time where I've gone in with the chicken sandwich and I've gone out feeling like pregnant afterwards. Like just a lot of oof,
especially the Nashville. So it's going to be a little gassy afterwards. Yeah,
A lot of those sounds, and I came to the realization I might have to take a chicken sando hiatus for a while. It's been rough. It was this one. I think actually now I think about it, last week I had a Bay's fried chicken
I
sandwich.
was just about to bring that up. Did you have the spicy one?
I think I did.
So okay, so
maybe that herein lies the problem.
Yeah, maybe it's not
spicy
necessarily
aspect.
the chicken sandwich, but I was just about to bring them up. Man, I think Ndamukong Suh was like
He's one of the co-owners.
Yeah, shout out to Ndamukong Suh, for that.
One of the
Makes
investors.
Makes a damn good chicken, over there.
That's a good bird over there.
That might be what it is. And the third chicken sandwich was it spicy as well?
It was like maybe it was at Lardo's.
Then probably.
Yeah,
It was probably.
Clutch.
Yeah, and so it was last three. It's always great to start, and then it's like
it's gonna come back up at some point,
or come back down. When I went home though, I immediately face planted into my bed and just kind of lied there. Like a beached whale.
Wait for this feeling to pass.
Yeah, just again making those just sounds, just oof. Oh.
Yeah, been there. Whoa. Wait a minute, Joe.
Excuse me.
Let's.
It's 9:12,
Where are we?
bro.
Don't clip that.
Don't think we're at a strip club right now.
But it was a good Saturday. It was a solid Saturday. The clubs were swinging well at Envision Golf. Again, 1-0 to start the season, but that's not important. Okay.
Yeah, that's not the lead at all.
That's not the story. Okay.
Yeah.
We do have plenty of football stuff today, though. Pretty sure playoffs start next week. So we have some NFL previews, matchup previews to do today. Talk about who are the potential teams getting to the playoffs. We had a team clinch a playoff spot yesterday.
Great game.
Yeah, it was solid.
Hell yeah.
Unfortunate to old Minshew, but we definitely have some NFL matchups, playoff predictions, what teams we think might be for real, which ones are fraudulent. Also want to get to one team in particular that has a decision looming here on the future. And we have quite possibly the worst take of all time.
Oh, we're going to talk about that guy?
Yes, because, I'm pretty dumb. But when things like this happen, it makes me feel
Smarter,
less dumb. A little bit. Yeah. I'm like, wow, okay, at least I'm not saying that. I mean, that makes me feel a lot better about myself. So pretty sure that we got that audio pulled, and we'll have to play that. Again, I do not like giving this guy any attention, but when it's something this bad, it has to be played.
We can laugh together, guys.
Yes, exactly. So we'll do that. We got a national championship game to preview. And then I don't know if you saw this last week, but we do have to bring this up from college football, from the Rose Bowl game last week. So we get to a lot of football stuff. Why don't you know it? Football Sunday. Again, you can text in 503-864-6326. But let's take a look at this NFL Sunday action. What is at stake? There are a few teams that still can make the playoffs that they need a lot to go right, and then some other teams that basically they just need to win and they're in. So let's take a look at the teams that are right there on the cusp. We also have some divisions that need to be clinched still today. So let's get right into it. NFL Week 18, Joe Fisher, Rashad Taylor, Jordan Schultz, right here. Football Sunday, brought to you by Gorilla Works Supply Co. on 1080 The Fan.
Dirt and Spray. Now, weekday mornings, 6 to 9.
You can try this at home.
It is very weird when you're on vacation because the thing about this job is that it never stops, and it's a wonderful job. I wouldn't do anything else, and I hope I never get fired and have to do anything else. But when you're in like show mode, you never stop. You're always looking for the next thing. You're always watching the games. You're always reading articles. Like it's a constant wheel that's moving in your head. When you're on vacation, it's very strange to detach from that.
I took 3 days legitimately detached.
And like I didn't follow much. I didn't watch anything. Christmas movies were on the TV, but then you have games like the Lions Cowboys game the other night where you want to you have takes. You're watching the game, you're kicking up takes in your head. You want to come in and talk about them, but by the time we do a show, it's not really timely. It's a little outdated.
My 11-year-old is happy I'm back to work. All the takes are not just going to be dumped on her. She doesn't understand any of the takes. Just goes, oh, okay, all right, yeah.
The home of Dirt and Spray. Now, weekday mornings, 6 to 9 on The Fan.
I'm a fan.
In order for small businesses to thrive, they need to be smart, efficient, savvy, staying ahead of the market at every turn, finding ways to do more with less, and taking advantage of every opportunity that comes their way. That's why Comcast Business is introducing the Small Business Bonus. For a limited time, you can get up to a $1,000 prepaid card when you switch to Comcast Business, the company with the largest, fastest, reliable network. So if you're a small business owner, don't wait. Call or go online to learn about the $1,000 bonus today.
Give your business a head start in 2024. Get started with fast speeds and advanced security for $49.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Call or go online to switch today. Ends 2/21/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 50 megabits per second internet and security edge. EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Prepaid card offer requires premium internet.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Football Sunday with Rashad and Joe. Brought to you by Grillworks Supply Company on Portland's sports leader, 1080 The Fan.
On the sea, you became the light on the dark side of me. Love remains.
If Kiss by a Rose doesn't get you ready for NFL Week 18 action,
I don't know what does.
Yeah.
You know,
I want to run through that wall right now for my Dallas Cowboys, okay?
Which is, you know, if there is someone that listens to this before a game, like that person's a maniac. Like, this is what you listen to before you go and try to knock someone's
They
head
just
off.
got an image of Dak in his locker, just looking down, just with the beats on, just focused, lock in. What are you listening to, Dak? Kiss by a Rose.
Yeah, truly, madly, deeply.
Get the F out of my face!
God, I've always said that like 90s R&B, it's great workout music because, you know, as you're working out through your set, it takes about like 4 or 5 minutes, right? You do your first rep, take a break for 30 seconds a minute. By the time you get to that last set, you know, whether it be curls or leg press or something like that, you got to just get that motivation. And by the end of that song, that dude is screaming out for the love.
That's the way it goes,
Like
man.
crying his heart out. And then you're just like, dude, I feel that.
Yeah, push it out. Push it out.
Then you get that last set and you're like, sweet. All right, next song by Genuine.
Yeah, I listen. Seriously, Pony.
Genuine.
Siri, play Pony.
No, Pony's, you need that build up. Pony is like, bwah, bwah, bwah,
I
bwah.
can lift to that.
You can. I guess you can. Just wear compression shorts, I guess. Or is that next? Too close?
That's definitely too close. That means I don't need a spot, bro. We're good. We're good. Thank you, though.
Get away from me. Get away from me, please. Oh, God. So a lot of meaningless football, but there are some matchups today that definitely do matter when it comes to who gets the division, who gets the final playoff spots. 2 divisions that are still up for grabs. I think actually 3, technically. You've got NFC East, Cowboys, Eagles fighting for that spot. Cowboys win, they get it. Eagles lose, Cowboys get it. So right now, the Cowboys in the driver's seat to get the NFC East. They're playing the Commanders. Granted, it could be a very soupy, ugly match out there in Maryland. If you saw what was happening in, was that Baltimore or were they playing Pittsburgh yesterday? I can't remember. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Ravens.
Yeah,
It was the
it was in
Tyler
Baltimore.
Huntley-led Ravens.
Yes,
it was
in Baltimore.
fantastic.
It was an
Messy,
absolute disgusting, messy monsoon out there. So that very well could be the case at Poopy FedEx Field. Hopefully the sewage pipes hold during that. Wasn't that a few years ago at FedEx Field when like a pipe burst and it was just water falling off of one of the balconies?
Sewage water,
Yes.
most likely.
Hot. Very hot.
Hot sewage water. I hope it was cold.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
smell, if it were hot, would have been, the whole stadium would have been experiencing something.
Left hand up. Who are we? Go Commanders. Eagles Giants is the other game. Again, the Eagles have to win, but they also have to pray for a Cowboys loss, which I'm sure 99% of the nation is praying for because nobody likes the Cowboys but Cowboys fans. So, but I digress. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to play the victim role here. We also have the NFC South up for grabs too. The mighty NFC South, the most competitive division in all of football, right? When all those teams are jam-logged together, the Bucs, the Saints, and Falcons, that means that's a competitive division. That's really good, right?
Is that what it means?
That's what I always said when the NFC East was down.
Yeah.
When everybody was saying the NFC East, I'm like, what are you talking about? That just means it's super competitive, and it's, there's no...
They cannibalize each other, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The Pac-12. Yeah, no. I don't think that's the case with them in the NFC South right now, but hey, I mean, a win's a win?
Yeah, I guess. Like, I saw...
But does a win right now help you if you're a bottom feeder in the NFC South? Like, I mean, your draft position can still move, based on where you finish and everything. Like,
yeah, I mean, if I'm the Falcons, I'm losing that game. I want the better draft position. And that's the thing, too, is I was seeing some Cowboy Twitter accounts like, guys, we might want the 5 seed because then if we get the wild card, yeah, it's an away game, but we're going to play like the Saints or the Falcons or the Bucs. And I was like, you're an idiot. I want the Cowboys to be at home regardless of the situation. I want the 2 seed. But yeah, imagine that if the Cowboys lose and Eagles win and they have the 5th seed and then they have to go to Atlanta to play like Desmond Ridder. The fact that Atlanta still has a chance, I mean, they basically need to win against the Saints, and then they need the Bucs to lose today. So, I mean, they're one of those teams on the outside that they need a lot to happen for them. But just imagine that. Like, this is one of those cases where it's like, did we need to expand the playoffs?
No, we didn't. However, it so far it's made for good football. That extra game. We said this about the NBA's what's the play-in tournament. Initially, it was like, we don't really need that. But now it's like...
probably still don't.
We probably still don't. However, it makes for some pretty compelling basketball, at the end of the season. So I think that game we've been pleasantly surprised at how competitive it's been.
We also have the AFC East for grabs, and this is a winner-take-all. Miami Dolphins versus Buffalo Bills. That is the Sunday Night Football matchup at 5:20 tonight between Papa Joe's Miami Dolphins.
Sorry,
and
I
the
didn't
Buffalo
do this
Bills.
like 4 minutes ago.
Oh, dude, we got the bells.
I know.
We're all good now.
We got some betting stuff to do too, but like we could just play this like the whole,
just
like,
all day.
the whole show.
Yeah.
Week 18.
So the Steelers, they won yesterday, which was disgusting, but they indeed win.
They're fighting Mason Rudolph's. That dude, I hate that he's a third-string quarterback. I hate that he's got such a cushy life because he looks like a D-bag, and he's a terrible quarterback at that. Not like you need to be a good quarterback to be a third string in the NFL, but still. Like, just what a lucky... thank God they got Mike Tomlin because they don't got a quarterback.
Well, it's hilarious. I just keep remembering the moment when Myles Garrett swung the helmet at him and almost killed him like 3-4 years ago.
And accused him of calling him the N-word, didn't he?
Yeah,
I don't know if he did.
I think it happened.
You think it happened?
Myles Garrett doesn't seem that like crazy to me, to do some stuff. So that's one of those things that will trigger somebody to do something crazy.
We got lip readers out there, though. I don't think anybody came out and said, "Oh, I saw him do it."
Did someone break down the Zapruder film of Mason Rudolph possibly saying the N-word?
The John Boy Media breakdown did not ever come out on that one. So,
gosh, these little trumpets. What a song. I would like to learn. Yeah, there you go. Like to learn trumpet just for this aspect alone. Like, can you play any other songs? Like, nope, just this.
What if 1080 The Fan staff all just learned different instruments and managed to band together? Right? Just these songs alone.
All right, we are going to play the Fox NFL theme music now. So the Steelers, they won. They can still clinch a playoff berth if they get a Buffalo loss or a Jacksonville loss today. Jacksonville, the only way that they can make the playoffs is by winning today. The Houston Texans, they clinched at least a wild card spot.
Shout out to the Texans, man.
Hey, man, give them props for sure. D'Amico Ryans, CJ Stroud, and the Stroud boys getting a big dub yesterday.
Yeah, Singletary was a yard short, though, on my $120 win, so damn him.
So the Jacksonville Jaguars, they have to win today in order to get into the playoffs. That is their scenario for them.
Trevor Lawrence is playing, by the way. Saw that he is just a few minutes ago. ESPN front page said that he is active.
And, rightfully so. Like, Jacksonville, they'll win and clinch the AFC title with a win, but that's the only way they can get in. After how their season has gone in this second half, like, that's pretty justifying right there. Like
Yeah.
they have S the bed week after week and have barely scraped by. So yeah, if they're not winning this game, winning the division, then rightfully so, you should not be in the playoffs because they've basically shown they're not a playoff team. They're not a real contender down the stretch.
I just don't think anyone in that AFC South is a contender.
Well, like the
Saying,
Texans, I'm not going to say they're a contender. It's been a great year for them, but I said this to you like weeks ago when it was like, Panthers fans are pissed they didn't take CJ Stroud. It's like, all right, well, it is, a rookie year, so maybe let's hold out on Bryce Young a little bit longer. But also, like, do we really think the Texans are winning a Super Bowl this year?
No, I don't think either one of the South divisions have a team. Every other division has at least a team that you're like, I could see them winning the Super Bowl, but there isn't one team in either one of the South divisions you're like, yeah, I'd definitely see New Orleans walking away with this year. Like, no, probably not.
So Bills, Dolphins, we talked about that. Miami will clinch the AFC East title with a win or a tie. I love these. I love these scenarios, having to sift through them because of all the ties that could happen in Week 18.
There will be a tie today. No,
You're
you
calling
guys?
a tie.
I am, absolutely. Well, there's always, you saw it in one of the CFP games, the Alabama matchup with Michigan. Oh my goodness, it was chaos.
Yeah.
And in the post-game show, it's like there's gonna be like a safety. There wasn't a safety, but there sure as heck was like a special teams touchdown and a bunch of other weird crap. It always happens in these games. It always does.
That reminds me, though, of that Chargers-Raiders game, that season finale a couple years ago, when it was basically like, if the Raiders and Chargers tie, then they both get in. And it was like down to the end of the game where it was like the Raiders, like they could just kneel this out and
they were gonna
call it, and then they ended up kicking the field goal anyway, or vice versa. I can't remember.
No, it was because Brandon Staley, they were down under a minute, and Rich Bisaccia said, you know what, we were going to let the clock roll off because they were tied with the Chargers. Brandon Staley called an effing timeout. That's what changed their mind and said, the hell are you doing over there on Vegas' sideline? So they're like, okay, screw you, we're going to win this game. We don't care about you, we care about us.
Yeah.
And I believe that let the Steelers in instead of the Chargers. God.
Oh, man. So, yes, let's root for a tie today. I don't know which game, but I think that would just create ultimate chaos because then everybody's trying to figure out how the hell the scenario works out in that case.
Yeah, I think the tie should come between Cowboys and
Stop.
what?
Stop.
What?
Don't.
I mean, how
Joe's
important
about to burst
how
his
important of a game is it today for Dallas? Like, I
Well,
mean,
big, because if they win the division, but they're playing the GD Commanders. Have we not watched them?
I have.
Sam Howell has thrown 19 interceptions this year. He's probably good for 2 terrible picks today.
What's
Oh,
the
it might
term
be
they
Taylor
use?
Heineke,
What's the
right?
term they use in football? Any given Sunday.
Yeah, okay.
Like, just imagine Sam Howell wins today, plays spoiler to the Cowboys, and then they make a movie about him. And, seriously, a Disney movie in about 15 years.
They would make a movie. They would just relish in that aspect of the
called
Cowboys.
victory.
Yeah.
That's what it's
Hey, man, I'll sit here and be honest with you. If Cowboys lose this game, I got nothing to stand on at this point. Like,
I mean,
everything I've been preaching about this season, about them blowing bad teams out, Dak having an MVP-like season, like, all that goes out the window.
well, all that's still true, though. Like, I mean, Dak has had an MVP-like season. He won't win it, but he has had – this is probably his best season he's had, as a starting quarterback. So, I think there's still a lot for Dallas to be, upbeat about. But, yeah, you definitely need this game today because if you don't get it, Detroit moves into that second spot, right? Like, if Detroit has to win as well. But I don't think Detroit has to win, do they? It says, like –
Detroit's already in.
Detroit, I mean, they've clinched
They
the playoff
won their division,
spot.
yeah.
Yeah,
so,
but they can't get, like, the 2 seed or anything like that.
Yeah, so wins tiebreaker over Detroit based on head-to-head.
Yeah.
percentage.
Well, we
So,
all know how that went
Oh,
last
yeah.
week, unfortunately. Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Pretty good game.
They play at Carolina. Tampa Bay clinches the NFC South title with a win or a tie, and a New Orleans loss or tie. The Bucs can clinch a playoff berth if they get a tie, Seattle loss, plus a Green Bay loss. Right now, Green Bay has the best path to a wild card. They've got like 6 different scenarios, but the most important scenario of all is you win, you're in, you're going to the playoffs.
There's nothing more clear-cut than that. All you got to do is go out there and get a W. And hold on. First, I want to make sure that, and I know you don't want to do this, but man, Tampa Bay, 8-8 on the season. Like,
Dude, I was
tip
so
of the
wrong
cap.
about
like,
them.
who knew?
It's not me.
Who knew
I
that
can pull
Baker
up-
Mayfield would take his team to the playoffs? You know,
He was showing it early in the season, and I was like, oh, bud, I might be wrong about this Tampa team. Mike Evans has had a fantastic year. Yeah, good for the Bucks. One of my best friends is a Bucks fan, and I know he's relishing in this. So
And-
hopefully they can finish it off and win the division.
and then one more, man, the Green Bay Packers, sans Aaron Rodgers, make it to the or have an opportunity to get into the playoffs. How much of an FU would that be to Mr. Ayahuasca himself if they go to the playoffs the first season without Aaron Rodgers and he, missed the season after like the fourth play?
It would be nice.
He'll be on
It'd
the
be
Pat
nice.
McAfee show
That's what you call poetic justice, right
bitching
there.
about that. Yeah.
And then the Seattle Seahawks, who will be right here on 1080 The Fan at 1:25. Pre-game show starts right after us at 11 a.m. Their scenario against the Arizona Cardinals, they win plus a Green Bay loss, and they are in the playoffs. So they are big Justin Fields fans today.
Oh, absolutely. You have to be. You're hoping he looks like he's in college today and he goes crazy, and so you can find your way into the playoffs.
Yes. All right, let's take a break because there is a player in a team that I just mentioned that have a big decision on their hands going forward. We do that next here on Football Sunday, brought to you by Grillworks Supply Co. But first, Jordan Schultz with SportsCenter Update.
Now, from the Spirit Mountain Casino Sports Desk, a SportsCenter update on 1080 The Fan.
First on The Fan, there were two games on the NFL slate for Saturday. The Steelers topping the Ravens 17-10, greatly increasing their playoff chances, grabbing an AFC wildcard spot. And the Texans beating the Colts 23-19 behind 2 touchdowns from C.J. Stroud, sealing a berth into the playoffs over Indianapolis. Your Seahawks facing off against the Arizona Cardinals for their final game of the season today. They need a win and a Green Bay tie or a loss to clinch an NFC wildcard spot. Coverage getting going right here on The Fan following Football Sunday at 11 a.m. Kickoff set for 1:25 on Fox. In the NBA, your Portland Trailblazers back in action this afternoon. Actually, you got some matinee game action. They're in Brooklyn, so that means you got, obviously, tip-off being a lot earlier, taking on the Nets. The Nets 8.5-point favorites. Tip-off is at noon on Root Sports. And in the NBA as well, Draymond Green, indefinite suspension, end up lasting about 3 weeks and 12 games. The Warriors forward being reinstated by the NBA last night. He had returned to the practice facility earlier this week, and he is joining the Warriors officially. Looks like he's going to be on the sideline for games starting today. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte from the Spirit Mountain Casino Sports Desk. Watch and wager with our sportsbook powered by BetMGM at Spirit Mountain Casino. Learn more at spiritmountain.com.
Go deeper on the Trailblazers. The Rose Garden Report with host Sean Highkin. Download the Rose Garden Report on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Leif's has been Portland's #1 choice for decades. Why? Because the other body shops trade insurance referrals for cheap, shoddy repairs. If you cut corners, use imitation parts, you get referrals.
decide your future and what you should do with your franchise, right?
One game?
Don't take like a whole sample size of a season, or like look at a player like his progression through his career. Just 1 week, decide everything you should do. Right?
Depends on what that week is.
Well, that's what the Bears are facing right now with Justin Fields. Apparently,
we've got enough film.
Today determines whether or not the Bears stick with Justin Fields or not.
We all know
whatever happens today in this game, the Bears have their decision. Like, I don't know if it's the social media, the recency bias, the week-to-week overreaction, but why do we do this? It seems like, the Heisman Trophy race, it was decided in one game. Pac-12 championship game, right? It was like after the Ducks lost, it was like, okay, well, it goes to Jaden Daniels. And then Jaden Daniels doesn't play after that. He's not in the SEC championship game. He doesn't play in the ReliaQuest Bowl. People, and granted, this is a national media problem too, is that people see Michael Penix play against Texas and they're like, okay, well, we know who should have won the Heisman now. It's like, so this one game now changes your opinion? There was like 13 other games where, and granted, Penix had his ups and downs, but like there was definitely a sample size where you could have seen that, yeah, he probably should have won the Heisman.
Mm-hmm. And that's how it goes for a lot of people. Vince Young came out and dominated in that national championship game, and everybody's like, you know what? He probably should have been the guy to win. Shouldn't have been Reggie Bush that year. Did you see what Reggie Bush did for that entire season? Like, Vince Young was great in that game, but that wasn't the Heisman performance that, he needed. He needed that early in the year. Justin Fields, man, I feel bad for this kid. Number one, if you're the number one pick of any team, you're probably going to a crap franchise, more than likely. Especially if you're within the first 12 to 15 picks, you're going to go to a bad team, more than likely. He went to the Bears. The Bears who... What was it? 2006, the last time they went to the Super Bowl 5 with Rex Grossman.
Yeah, good old Grossy.
Yeah,
Devin
sexy
Hester
Rexy
returning the kick.
Yeah, so the Bears have been inept for what now? Almost 20 years.
Been a while.
Quarterback after quarterback. They've gone through coach after coach and offensive coordinator after defensive coordinator, and they've never been able to get it right. It's Justin Fields' fault now. Mind you, he hasn't played well. Let's just go ahead and call a spade a spade. He hasn't had one season where he's thrown for at least 20 touchdowns. This is his third year. And he's been, nicked up a little bit, banged up.
Well, I want to say his rookie year, I don't think he started right away.
No, he didn't start right away.
I think they still had Trubisky playing there.
Yeah, and even still, he threw 7 touchdowns and 10 picks.
That's a rookie season.
Next year, he threw 17 touchdowns and 11 picks.
Improvement.
Better, and then this year in 12 games, obviously 16 touchdowns and 9 picks. He can't stay healthy because he moves a lot, moves too much. He has an offensive line that doesn't know how to block, a defense that can't really hold water. There's a lot of things that are wrong in Chicago. I don't know if all of it is Justin Fields, though.
Well, coincidentally, he gets a great number one receiver this year and looks pretty decent. His passing stats this year, 2,414 passing yards, 16 touchdowns, rushing yards, 630. And we've seen, it seems like week after week, he has a play that he has to escape the pocket and avoid 2 tackles.
It's a Cam Newton-esque kind of escape, when he does that.
Looks like damn near Barry Sanders. He's 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage and no blocking, and he's got to run for his life. But the way that the Bears have closed out this season, they have won 5 of their last 7 games. Now, granted, the 5 wins, Panthers, 16-13 victory. Vikings, 12-10 victory.
Yes.
You did blow out the Lions, 28-13. I call that a blowout because this year with the NFL, all the unders have been hitting, and it's one possession game after one possession game. You only lost to the Browns by 3, 2017 at Cleveland. That's one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the NFL. And then he beat the Cardinals and the Falcons last week. He blew out the Falcons 37-17. And, I know it's more of a college football thing, but I think there's definitely some style points in how you beat teams in the NFL that
100%.
matters. If you're at home, away, if you're blowing out teams, if you're barely skating by, I think that definitely matters. But it sounds like it comes down to today against the Packers at Green Bay. Justin Fields and the Bears have the chance to knock Green Bay out of the playoffs. And if they do that, I don't see how you don't roll with him for another year.
If you beat Green Bay, if you beat your rival at the end of the year and play spoilered for them going to the playoffs,
winning 6 of your last 8 games,
and you finish strong, like you have to, you don't move on from Justin Fields.
This is what happened with the Lions last year. I mean, the Bears, they started off the season, 1-5, 2-7. That's where the Bears were at this season. And you're telling me you have the chance to finish 8-9? Like, that is a great turn. That's
crazy,
what happened to
right?
the Lions last year. They were 1-7 to start the year, I believe, 1-6.
And then finish the year off awesome.
And then everyone said, yep, roll it back with this team, this coach. They clearly have they're in the right momentum. And so I think that's what you got to do with the Bears here is that you finish the season the way you did with wins and Justin Fields improving, DJ Moore. You add some pieces through the draft or through the offseason. I haven't looked at their cap situation yet, but I don't see why. I also get the impatience with teams and quarterbacks because you get a guy like C.J. Stroud who hits year 1.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that doesn't help the situation when you're waiting and waiting for someone to put up numbers like that, and then a guy comes in year 1 and does it.
You start panicking. It's tough to look around. If you're the Bears, it's tough to look around, especially within your division, and you see that the Packers have an opportunity to make the playoffs a year without Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Like that's tough to see. It's tough to look around the country, and like you said, you see C.J. Stroud and the Texans making moves and trying to move forward and become a better team. Like, yeah, it's tough to look around and see what is considered his contemporaries, if you're Justin Fields, doing well, playing well. Gardner Minshew with an opportunity to potentially go to the playoffs last night. Like, so yeah, it's tough to look around and see that. And then you start panicking because I truly think Justin Fields could be a Cam Newton-esque quarterback. If you look at their percentage, their completion percentages, they're right about the same, right around 60%. They do right around the same amount of running the ball and stuff like that. So he could still be a really effective, almost MVP level quarterback if given the right opportunity. We've seen what good coaches can do to a bad team. We thought the Texans were dead in the water to start the season. There's no way DeMeco is going to come in there and change that culture in that year with the rookie quarterback. That's not going to happen this year. And what do you know? They won 10 games on the season. Like, so, I mean, you'd be surprised to know what great coaching, and I don't know if the Bears have ever had that. I don't know if they've had it in a long time.
And Matt Eberflus, their head coach, I want to say this is, I don't think this is a year 1 for him. I think this is year 2, yeah. But yeah, 2002 to present. So this is year 2. So you improve from last year, record-wise, team-wise. I think head coaches usually get that 3rd year to see if they improve on that. And then if they don't, maybe a 4th year, we'll see how that goes for him. But the Bears do have the number 1 overall pick. It is locked in. There's one idea of what not to do that has been floating around on the internet because obviously, you know, it seems like Caleb Williams is probably the consensus number 1 overall. We'll see what happens draft, you know, the days leading up to the draft are wild, you know, agents get in GM's ears and people start talking, and then before you know it, Mitch Trubisky's going number 2 overall. But there is one take that has been floating around that is the worst of all time as far as what the Chicago Bears should do with their draft capital. And we're going to get to that next, right here, Football Sunday on 1080 The Fan. What do you say about him? Like,
Nothing, hopefully.
it just goes to show that speaking confidently, regardless of what dumb S you are spewing, can get you pretty far. And this is the epitome of Emmanuel Acho and what he does. But put this take on anybody. Like, if anybody were to say this besides him, it would still be horrendous. But because it came from him, and the passion and the confidence and the hand gestures and the smile.
Can't get past his lisp.
This by far is the worst take in NFL draft history. George Schultz, do we have the audio ready?
Easier to hit on one player in Caleb Williams than it is to hit on 4 players. If you're talking about trading that number 1 overall pick for all these other picks, now you got to hope that Marvin Harrison hit. Then you got to hope that the tackle you draft hit. Then you got to hope that the other pass rusher hit, as opposed to simply hoping that Caleb hits. It's easier in my mind to simply hit on Caleb Williams than it is to pray that you hit on 3 or 4 other picks, not to mention you can always trade Justin Fields for a 2nd or 3rd round pick. So based upon that, why would you not say to yourself, wait, we've already got lucky. We traded Bryce Young for Caleb Williams and DJ Moore, because that's what it came down to. They traded that number 1 overall pick for DJ Moore, plus another 1st round pick who you can now use on Bryce Young. You got lucky. By the grace of God, the Panthers were terrible. You got DJ, you got Caleb. For Bryce, take your money, go to the cashier, cash out. Why would you not make that decision?
Because you get fired is why you wouldn't make that decision.
You serious?
You idiot.
Listen, I don't think I've ever met like a baseball player that was like, Coach, I don't need 4 at-bats. Just give me 1.
Well, all 1's all I need, Coach. I'm going yard.
Like, does he not know, like, did he ever take a statistics or like a probability class or like even just was there for the probability like lesson in basic math in freshman year of high school? He's literally saying, take Caleb Williams, who, I'm sorry, hasn't played in the NFL, so we have no guarantees that he is going to be a great player. And me and Rashad were talking in the break about his future prospects. I think he is mentally tough. USC, they kept having to throw him out there on offense, possession after possession after possession, because their defense could not hold firm. So he would have to go out there and put up 40, 50 points every night, it seemed like, just for them to have a chance. So I think he has that mental resiliency of like, all right, let's go out there, got to do it again. If a mistake happens, go back out there, redeem ourselves. I'm not crazy about his style of play of staying in the pocket and running like it's backyard football when a play breaks down. Yes, that's nice in NFL to have that ability, but that's not what the NFL, how quarterbacks build their success, is that pocket presence, is being able to feel that pressure around you, make a step up in the pocket, not have happy feet, not be panicking. That's my biggest concern with Caleb Williams, and it's not guaranteed that his game will transition to the NFL. We saw what happened this year when he started playing better teams. You know, it's nice when you're playing San Jose State or Fresno State or whoever the hell, but once you start getting to that better talent and NFL players and NFL caliber talent, that's where you can run into problems. So besides all that, he is saying, take him. Whatever. You don't need 4 other players. You don't need all this draft capital. It also cracks me up that he says, well, okay, and then trade Justin Fields for a 2nd and 3rd round pick. So are you saying that the 2nd and 3rd round pick are going to hit if you make that trade? But if you trade the number 1 overall pick, oh yeah, all those other 1st round picks you get aren't going to hit. That's too much of a risk to take. What the hell are we talking about?
Just thinking locally of an example, like a very successful team in the Seattle Seahawks, in their GM John Snyder literally using lower round picks to build their defense up. That strong defense was not all 1st round picks. And then just out of that vacuum overall, when you hit on a 5th, 6th round guy, that ends up being so much more valuable in the long run. Like, I don't understand when you're thinking 1 compared to 4, the math works out like you guys just said.
Like basic math.
But then when you talk about grabbing a guy cheap, when you talk about the success of your scouting department and how much these guys put in, and like, oh, they identify a 6th round guy every single year. I mean, that's how part of the reason. I hate to do it, but Bill Belichick was good at identifying late-round talent, was good at identifying undrafted guys to come in and supplement his roster for cheap. What the hell are you talking about, Emmanuel?
Who knows? It's Emmanuel Acho. Like, who knows what he's ever talking about? Like, Joe, if I decide to give you $100 or $400, which one are you going to take?
Or a chance to win $400?
No. Yeah. I can. Here's a chance.
Just give me the one, man.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna be happy, and by the grace of God.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to turn this one into four.
I'm
right?
thankful.
Yeah, you're gonna try to flip it. Like Emmanuel Acho. Again, when you're confident in what you're saying, you make your BS sound good. We all saw the Cat Williams interview and everything, and the one thing about Cat Williams is he was sincere and confident in what he was saying. And so it just sounded like gospel to a lot of people. And a lot of people were like, yeah, I guess you're right. Emmanuel Acho's not one of those guys. Like, he just says corny stuff all the time, and this is one of them. If you're going to lose a player like Justin Fields, man, you definitely want more talent to kind of supplement for that.
Yeah. What a concept.
So you mean to tell me
surrounding your quarterback with talent? I mean,
You mean to tell me you're going to take this 6'1", unproven in the NFL quarterback, 210 pounds, maybe 207 pounds as far as Caleb Williams, over your 6'3", 27, 28 pound quarterback who knows the NFL, who's been playing well enough for a really bad team, for the last 3 years, and then we don't need a tackle. We don't need
Caleb Williams. Why get another first-round pick and maybe get a tackle or a wide receiver?
We don't need a
or
corner,
a D end, or why build depth?
So you think you can hit on one person as opposed to possibly being able to hit on, if you get 4, maybe 2 or 3. Let's say 2 of them are great, or 2 of them end up becoming key starters on your offense or key players on your offense or defense. Instead, you would want a quarterback, just one player, who more than likely is going to struggle in his first 2-3 years as a quarterback of the Bears. Like Emmanuel Acho, most of the guys on that station, man, they should be fired.
LaShawn McCoy is one of them.
Have you ever heard Marcellus Wiley? I mean, we don't work there anymore, but Marcellus Wiley.
Hey, that's a former Cowboy. You bite your tongue. Okay.
Yeah, he's just as wrong as Acho is in most cases.
We're now in the age of former athletes getting jobs more and more, and it is just because you're a former athlete. I
love it though. I love that part.
Well, you're not wrong, but then they end up sounding like Emmanuel Acho or Jason Witten, and it's like, dude, go back, play football, and shut up. Just because you played does not mean you're a great announcer. Like, I'm interested to hear what Tom Brady sounds like next year. Like, his legitimate takes on football, outside of being a quarterback and explaining how the hell to be successful in the pocket, breaking down things as a whole. Well, we'll see if he's good or not.
Well, it kills me because the whole if you didn't play, you shouldn't probably talk about it. Like, Bill Belichick, pretty sure he wasn't in the NFL. What does that guy know, right?
Yeah, I mean.
Well, he's about to get fired, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah, after he's getting fired from his job after 30 years. I think he'll be fine. And he's about to get a new one real fast.
What a bum, that Belichick.
Yeah. And he's going to go to a warm weather place and be good for the next little bit.
I don't blame him on that. And I think Acho knew how stupid he was when he said that, because he started going on the offense on the old Twitter X. Clay Harbor, one of his former teammates, former NFL player, he called him out on Twitter. And Acho essentially played the clip you posted of me has got you twice as much engagement than anything you've ever posted by yourself.
See, that's
so nobody can talk about it. Nobody. So I have to have more followers than Emmanuel for him to actually see this. Social media just rubs me the wrong way. We never talk about what the actual discussion.
I mean, he got ratioed for that one right there.
Sometime when you're on a tangent about stupid stuff, stupid-ish,
answer the question, you idiot.
You can't divert from that. Like, he starts saying something dumb, and now it's too late. I gotta keep going with it. I don't think he meant to say that. I'm hoping he meant to say 4 is better than 1. I'm hoping that's what he meant. Or I'm hoping that's what he was trying to say. And then he said something wrong and just said, well, screw it. I guess I'm committed now. And I got to finish this stupid thought.
Hey, man, it is a sales thing. Like, in my sales career, I've always heard, like, hey, man, if you just speak confidently, like, you can kind of BS your way through some stuff. So maybe that's just what we got to start doing, is saying the dumbest takes, the dumbest as possible that we can think of, Rashad. But with a lot of hand motions, big old smile.
Yeah.
Listen,
That's what you
y'all
do.
idiots out
Seriously,
there.
if you do this a lot and you talk with your hands, you smile.
As I look to my computer screen, I just see Acho just waving his arms around like he's calling an audible. Like, oh my God.
Acho, I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul, bro. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
All right. Well, hopefully that is the last time we ever play anything from Emmanuel Acho.
I'm sure he's going to give us some more.
Actually, I hope not. I hope he comes up with something just as stupid as this, because again, I feel like it should make all of you out there, texters, listeners, people watching on the YouTube stream, like, I hope when we play that stuff, you're like, wow, my life is pretty bad right now. I feel down in the dumps, and then you see that one person out there, you're like,
give yourself a pick me up.
I'm not that. And for that reason, I'm going to be okay today. I'm going to be okay.
No.
All right. We wrap up hour number 1. We've got a national championship game to talk about. That is tomorrow. I mean, the college football season, when it's right up against the playoffs, the NFL playoffs, and the final week of the season, I know we talked about it earlier in the week because of the semifinal games, but we have a national championship game tomorrow. Washington versus Michigan. The cheaters versus the luckiest team in college football history. We get to that next here. Hour number 2, Football Sunday on 1080 The Fan.
Seahawks football is on The Fan.
He's looking. Now he throws first time. It's Lockett. Does he reach the ball across? He does. It's over, baby. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Join us all season long for Seahawks football. Brought to you by Warren Allen Attorneys at Law. Injured? Don't trust just anyone with something so personal. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com. The Seahawks play here. 1080.
Holy catfish.
The Fan.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100%
maybe has, a chance to, put their hat in that ring. But Ohio State cranks out receivers. They do. Quarterbacks last few years. I mean, the best rookie quarterback came from Ohio State. Michigan has beat Ohio State the last 3 years and have locked them down. So that's the one part of the Michigan team that is giving me some confidence that we will not see purple and gold confetti raining from the skies in Houston, is that Ohio State or Michigan has built their defense to be able to have lockdown secondary that can then lead to coverage sacks, which we saw against Alabama. And Jalen Milroe has much better escapability than Michael Penix does. So it's another game of the trenches, right? The Joe Moore winning offensive line of Washington State or of Washington going against Michigan. Like this is the two best teams in the country, rightfully so, going up against each other. I can't wait. I hope it's a great game, but go Blue.
Hey, man, listen. I know you say Washington is the luckiest team in the country, and they've been lucky 13 times this season. They've been lucky against number 8, number 20, number 18, number 11, number 5, number 3. They've done nothing. You put them out there, they knock them all down. Their last 4 games, number 11, Oregon State, Washington State, Oregon, Texas. They've seen every quarterback, every type of quarterback you can want to see in the playing in the Pac-12. Now they've seen one of the best defenses in the country, and they made them look pretty JV for a lot of the game.
Well, pump the brakes. I mean,
maybe not JV, but again, I don't think this game was as close as the score said it was.
I'm just saying the Texas defense, the overall defense, like their secondary ranked something like 60th in the country. Yeah. Texas's did. Again, I had faith in
1,000 teams.
I had faith in that defensive front, those players in the box. And that's what I thought was going to be the difference for Texas, and it wasn't, because Penix, he's a great quarterback, and he was able to feel the pocket presence and move around. Again, compare that to Caleb Williams. I mean, Penix now, coincidentally, now that the nation finally watched a game of his, they're like, man, he might be a top 5 pick in the NFL. Like,
oh yeah, I saw last he was probably going 10th or something like that, and I was like, man, that's great, because we've been able to see him play for the last couple of years. So we know what Michael Penix Jr. can be. The same way we saw Justin Herbert, or the same way we saw Marcus Mariota. Like, there's certain guys you see, like, yeah, you're going to be real on the next level. And I think Michael Penix Jr. is one of those guys. I'm just seeing it's a team that for every week that they've played, yep, this is the week they're going to lose to Oregon the first time. Yep, this is the week. I think Utah can get them. Man, I think they're playing Oregon. It's hard to beat a team twice. And here they are, yet again. I'm laying some money on Michigan. I don't know if they'll win or anything, but damn it, if they do, guess who comes up? Your boy.
That's true. And Jim Harbaugh comes up because then he can have a national championship and then leave and go to the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's going to happen if Michigan wins. He's leaving.
You think he's going back to the NFL?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the reports came out today that he is very interested in the NFL, and either the Chargers job or maybe the Raiders was the other one. But which
I don't know. Because we see the Jim Harbaugh experiment in college, in the professional ranks doesn't work as long. He's got the type of personality that only lasts about 3 or 4 years, and then you got to get ready to move on.
Yeah.
Like, he's the Tom Thibodeau of the NFL.
Boy.
Yikes.
Seriously. Tom Thibodeau, you play hard, you usually win, but that doesn't last for very long. You get tired of playing for that guy after a little bit.
Yeah, well, from all the players, they say Jim Harbaugh is like one of the guys. Like, he is like a child at heart, and that's why they love him. But
would you rather play for him or his brother?
I mean, it's a win-win, it sounds like.
You get to choose one. Gun to your head. Boom. Who do you play for? Which Harbaugh do you want?
John.
I'm going John all day.
He's better.
I'm probably going John as well.
Better dude.
Yeah, I'm going John.
More fun.
But, yeah, I could totally see that. I mean, you win a national championship at Michigan.
Doors open up everywhere.
Like, mission accomplished,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Like, what else do I need to do here?
And you've seen everything Michigan. I know we're against it, but everything Michigan's been against this year, for the suspension of your coach, and then seriously, and then an interim coach for a little bit, and you're still just running through people as, in that process, and then come back and on your way to the national championship. Like, this is what Michigan has been waiting for since, Desmond Howard since that time when they were really dominant. When was the last time Michigan was like absolutely 2000?
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, so it's been a long time.
Yeah. So next on Football Sunday, we got to talk to our naysayers. We do that here, Football Sunday, 1080 The Fan.
Leifs has been Portland's #1
yourself for Reese Davis.
I guarantee every brother in the room was like, let a what? Keep going.
Well, Joey Galloway and Desmond Howard, you heard them dying laughing, saying, I thought it was about to go down.
Yo, I was not expecting that. Yeah, shout. That's awesome.
So you had not seen or heard that.
No,
bro. You need to go on Twitter and just type in naysayer because they've been having a field day on Twitter with this.
Oh man, I'm curious of who cleared that to say like, yeah,
that's clearly what it stands for.
That's what you need to.
That's what it stands for.
Oh man,
you're not saying that's not what it stands for. The N in that.
I don't think so.
First of all, I'm surprised. Like we got to this point. Like how long has he been wearing this Lank?
And none of us knew. And you said he wears it under his. Stuff.
Oh no! Like pregame warm up, he is out there wearing a shirt that says Lank, and like the A is an Alabama A, so it's like Nike Alabama gear that I guess like I don't know NIL. Like he was able to make that work somehow to get his own apparel, but
Jalen Milroe, I love it. Where can I buy one? Where can I buy one? You know what I mean? And for those who know. We know what he's saying. Just being real. If you don't know, if you don't know, then that's cool. But let a naysayer know. I love it. I love it. I want one. Take my money.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. You definitely have to peruse the social medias today.
So whenever I peruse
what a word,
X
huh?
Or Twitter, it's just porn.
Oh, bud,
It's like,
there is
and I'm like, I don't even follow you.
All of it.
It's Wild Wild West.
And
now.
I'm like, yo, I don't even follow you. Why?
Well, they allowed. It's not just now. Before Elon took over and Jack Dorsey was still running it. They allowed nudity all over.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you could type in any word in the search bar. Doesn't matter what the word is. I'm just looking in the room. Clorox, paper, headphones, and somehow, some way, you would get porn. Like
vagina would come up.
Yeah, you're like, what the?
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday I'm on Twitter and I'm seeing a naked dude swimming in a Bass Pro Shop pond.
Yeah, in Alabama, dude got arrested for that.
How could that happen?
With no wee.
Yeah, how did he get arrested in Alabama?
Dude, he climbed. Very true. He climbed out of the pool and like literally fell out of the glass and fell on the rocks, and then they arrested him. They were pulling him on the ground with a wet ground.
Michael Scott falling into the koi pond, huh?
And let's just say his pubes were longer than his unit.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Yeah, it was.
Just shave it.
It was an anatomical wonder. Let's just say that. Like, where is it? Like it was almost like a cartoon. You know, in a cartoon, what's it, a guy cartoon? Like it almost looks like it's just like a eunuch, like there's nothing there.
Like a Ken doll?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
yes, that's exactly. It was like a weird digitally altered Ken doll.
Yeah, that is
fascinating.
But yeah, let a naysayer know.
I love it. I need one immediately. I want to know. I'm gonna find out. Hold on. Let me see how much these shirts are.
I mean, without the racist implications, it does remind me of the.
Oh, you can't wear one.
I'm not saying I could. I'm saying it.
What? Joe?
Jordan, we're out.
Yeah.
We can't do it. No, I'm saying without the racist implications of people like Joe and I wearing it when we shouldn't. It reminds me slightly of that Ducks shirt that we heard about at the beginning of the year, FEBU, FEBU, F everybody but us. And Dan Lanning got that started. Some other team members were wearing that shirt as the year went on. And there was some at the beginning of that, it's for everybody but us. It's F everybody but us. Stop.
I found one, and it's 1995, and it comes in sweatshirts as well.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm getting one. I think I'm getting one.
So, like, if there is
they selling that on Etsy? What is that?
This is Pisotech.
Excuse me?
Pretty sure I'm not saying that right.
Rashad, if Joe and I happen to find a shirt that does say naysayer, can we wear that one?
Yes, as long as it just has to say naysayer, though. That's all.
It has to have the word naysayer on it.
Yes, that's it.
So this also makes me feel a little bit better. A couple weeks ago, when I said I was like, man, I really wanted to get a Florida A&M sweatshirt at the Nike employee store, but I felt like I obviously could not properly wear a Florida A&M
Yes, you could.
sweatshirt. Dude, the logo
I
for
disagree.
the Florida A&M Rattlers, the logo and the colors, the green and
The
orange.
green and orange is fresh.
That's one of the best HBCU team logo mascot combination there is.
Now-
I mean, really one of the best in the nation.
Now those you guys can wear as many as you want to.
We get approved for that
Absolutely,
sweatshirt
all the
wearing and,
HBCU merch that you can buy for sure.
Also, I mean, the fact that this all happened in 1 week, it's like, boy, we are in a tough spot as announcers and radio people. There is a player, I don't know what state he's in, but out of Lawrenceburg High School that tweeted out on January 4th that he was going to be taking a visit to West Virginia on January 14th. Excited for the great opportunity. And who's this player? His name is Noah. But his last name is where some announcers are going to have some trouble. I'll just spell it for you. I'm going to spell how you his last name. Knigga.
Stop it. That's
Is the
not
K
even
silent?
fair. I'm not going to try it.
I don't know. I hope not. I hope that is not the pronunciation we're all
Spell it one more
assuming
time for me.
Knigga.
Knigga.
Nope. And even there, I'm like, I'm not going to say that either.
My buddy sent that to me, and I was like, what if it's pronounced the way we think it's pronounced, and I'm calling that game? I ain't pronouncing it that way. Like, I'm almost afraid to say
you gotta
on
create
air.
a nickname for him.
Oh, I had to send him like the phonetic, like I would say like Kai, Nai, Ja, I think is how I would say it. Like, and if that's wrong, I don't care. That's how I'm rolling with it.
Piece by piece, just to make sure there's no confusion.
Honestly, I'm going Noah K. Noah K with the tackle. And I'm pretty sure his dad is the head coach too. So if they're in like a state championship game, coach.
We have to find an interview and
Coach
find
K.
out. We have to find an interview and find out how they say.
Oh, no,
this
I'm looking
young
at the
name.
phonetic pronunciation of that word or name, and it is ka.
Nah. Yeah. No,
It is literally ka and then the N word.
There is someone interviewing the coach.
Say it, Jordan.
No, Rashad, I will not.
That reminds me
Say
of
it,
that
Joe.
that clip from I don't know what show it is, but there's like it's like a panel of people and the white guys
Why
like
can't we say it?
yeah,
Say it.
say it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Don't
Say
even like. Why are we
it.
doing that? Don't say it.
You want to say it?
So we had the naysayer situation at the beginning of the week, and then Noah K says he's taking a trip to West Virginia, visit to hopefully play football there.
Yeah, I'd just call him Noah. I wouldn't
getting
even
that
go
jersey.
K. It's like, bro, you're Noah. Like, hey, Noah, you're the only first name other than Ichiro. You're the only first name
my
basis
God.
guy I've ever
I don't know
referred
about
to
you
as an
guys. I'm getting
athlete.
that jersey.
Yeah, in one of the comments, you finna be sports announcer's worst nightmare.
Oh my gosh, so uncomfortable. I can't wait. I can't wait.
God. All right, you want to lose some Monopoly money, huh? Take a look at some.
I'm probably gonna lose some real money.
Dude,
But
it's been what 3 weeks? I don't even know what the standings are at. What we're looking at. I mean, we're getting to the nitty gritty of the season where we only have.
I can't say the last few weeks weren't great for me.
What do you, dude? You thought you had an 0-3 week at one point, and I was like, dude,
no.
you went 2-1.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna have to pull up that text combo because that was cracking me up. We're gonna get to who do you love? Who is our picks? Who are we taking? Oh, I saw it all. An own goal. Arsenal. What a bunch of bums. All right, who do you love? Coming up here on Football Sundays. Jordan Schultz, though. Sports Center update.
Now, from the Spirit Mountain Casino Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
First on the Fan, Week 18 in full swing of the NFL. Lots of playoff scenarios still to be decided, but the morning games all going on right now. First, the Bengals lead the Browns 7-0. Jake Browning throwing for that first touchdown of the day there with 3 to go in the first quarter. Just about 3 minutes to go in the first in Detroit. Lions leading the Vikings 7-0 as well, thanks to a Jared Goff touchdown pass. About 3 minutes in the first in Tennessee. The Titans lead the Jags 7-3. Ryan Tannehill with a bomb there. 2 minutes to go in a very snowy New England, or I guess I should say Foxborough, Massachusetts stadium because of the snowstorms in New England. Patriots and Jets tied at 0, scoreless with 2 minutes to go in the first. Falcons jumping out to a 14-7 lead over the Saints. Desmond Ridder already throwing for 2 touchdowns, and you still have 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. however. Panthers and Buccaneers scoreless, just under 2 to go in the first quarter there. The Seahawks facing off against the Cardinals for their final game of the season. They need a win and a Green Bay tie or loss to clinch an NFC wildcard spot. Coverage getting going right here on The Fan following Football Sunday at 11 a.m. Kickoff set for 1:25 on Fox. And your Blazers back in action this afternoon. They're in Brooklyn taking on the Nets. Brooklyn an 8.5-point favorite, though. Tip-off set for noon on Root Sports. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte from the Spirit Mountain Casino Sports Desk. Wager on all pro and college games every week at Spirit Mountain Casino with a sportsbook powered by BetMGM. Learn more at spiritmountain.com.
One number does it all for contests.
All right, it's been a little bit since we did this, so we got to go back to week 15 and see what transpired there. So, but first I got to find our text conversation where you thought that you had an 0-3 week.
I was like, I'm looking at the scores. It's like, because I know I picked one team. I wasn't sure if I picked took the points or took, so I was like, I think I might have lost this game.
Yeah, I was like, you texted me, my picks today were just as bad as last week. And I told you, I was like, it was a one for 2 week for me. I believe, I'm going to go back and look at these week 15 games. Time flies, man. Don't know what's going on half the time. I took Cowboys. Oh, boy. I took Cowboys money line on that Bills game. Yikes. That's, wrong. So that was where my loss came. I also took the Ravens Jags over 40.5. Wrong. My only thing I got right that day was Dolphins -8 over the Jets, and they won 30-0. So definitely got that right. But yeah, Rashad, you were like, man, bad week for me. 0-3 for the second week in a row. Now I was like, no, you took the Texans to cover 3 and they won by 3.
Thank you, CJ.
So you're Stroud boy, huh?
Hey man, I am now. I am now.
Insurrecting your way into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Got that Texans +3. And then you were like, okay, 1 and 2 still trash. And I was like, and the Blazers covered against.
That was the one that shocked me. It was like,
Yeah, I think it was against. God, I don't even know.
Whomever.
I'm checked out on Blazers this year.
I can't remember. It doesn't matter.
I am so checked out on Blazers right now. And it seems like I should be. It seems like it's not getting any better. I basically follow the Blazers off of Twitter, and seeing Brandon Sprague's tweets lately do not inspire any confidence in what's happening with the Blazers.
Bunch of these ragtag young group of
We're
guys.
definitely going the wrong way.
No, they still can't play defense.
So, Rashad, you went 2-1 that week. You took the Giants to cover 5.5, and in week 15, they were playing Why you took the Giants to cover in any capacity? The Saints, you took them to cover against the Saints. They lost 24-6 that week. And so you go 2-1 there. And Jordan, that was Levis over 225.5 yards passing. He did not get that.
No, he did not. He hit about 200 that day.
Yes, I remember I was keeping tabs on that one. Commanders, Rams under 49.5, 48.
Told you. No, I remember specifically telling you, like, that is a high number for that game.
And that wasn't even like that close. I'm pretty sure Washington got a garbage time touchdown to make it 28-20. So you were basically in the clear the entire time. Falcons covering 2.5. That was their loss against the Panthers.
No.
And right after the show, I even said to Rashad, I was like, bro, I could see the Panthers winning this game. He's like, why? I'm like, because the Falcons are just as bad.
Yeah,
How they've won 7 games.
The same way you were like, why would you take the Giants? I mean, any spread for the Giants. It's like, yeah, man, the Panthers.
Taking the Falcons at this point is like, woof.
Any given Sunday, back to what I was saying much earlier, man, it takes 4 quarters.
So week 18, this is an ugly week. I mean, again, we do
almost unwatchable.
Well, there will be some watchable games. Obviously, tonight's matchup between the Bills and Dolphins, that has a lot of implications in that one. But with week 18, I am going to go with college football to start.
Ooh.
And I am going to put out that positive energy into the air for all the Ducks fans. Go Blue. We're just taking Michigan money line, okay? Let's not worry about the spread. Let's not worry about points, anything like that. Let's just ensure a Michigan victory. Go Blue. Hail to the Wolverines. For the love of God, please. Like, this season with Washington, how many one-possession games have they had? The Cougs, Utah, Stanford. I believe they beat Arizona State by 2 possessions, but that's only because they got a late pick 6.
Oregon twice.
I mean, when I say luckiest team in college football history, they might not be. That might go to TCU last year, quite honestly. But Washington has escaped week after week after week. Come on, Michigan. Come on, Jim. Get the W, get the national championship in Ann Arbor, and then get to the NFL. And go to LA and play and coach the Chargers. Please give Justin Herbert a competent head coach, for the love of God. So go Blue. Michigan,
I'm praying. I'm gonna go the same game, but I'm going the other way. I'm taking the Washington Huskies. And here's why, man.
I'm looking at things to throw at you.
How great of a story would it be for the Pac-12 to be shut down to go join the Big Ten?
Not good.
And then the Pac-12 champion wins the national championship over the best team in the Big Ten before they get ready to move to that conference. Michael Penix Jr. doesn't get the trophy that he wanted, or gets the trophy that he really wanted, as opposed to the that Heisman. And, hey, man, Michigan doesn't win. Like, I understand. Like, I'm a Northwest guy, though. I'm one of those guys that we talked about a few weeks ago. I'm rooting for everybody in my region. So guess what? Go Huskies. Let's go Dogs.
Piss on
Let's go Dogs.
Go Blue. Come on.
Yeah, I'm with Joe.
You're killing me here.
I'm actually going to bet on that game as well, but the not the spreads, but the total. I believe it will be a shootout. 56.5 is looking at ESPN's site. That is what the total currently sits at. You look at Washington, whenever they get matched up against a really good team, usually both of them score a lot of points. So I see J.J. McCarthy having to air it out if Washington competes with that. Essentially, it's going to be Michael Penix throwing for 3 touchdowns and Dylan Mitchell running for a couple. So I think it's going to be over 56.5 in the Natty on Monday.
Over 56.5 national championship. Rashad, so are you taking Washington money line, or I believe the spread is at 4.5? I don't know if it's been bet down yet, but are you taking them to just straight up win, or just to cover your ass and cover the spread?
I think I'm taking the money line. 4.5. That sounds about right. I'm looking at all the scores over the last 4 games for Washington. That sounds about on point for that. So yeah.
Money line just for them to win straight up.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Woo! I realized I was so locked in on this Liverpool-Arsenal match that I forgot that 10 o'clock came and went, and sure enough, I'm trying to get Red Zone on the TV now. Quick update on those games, by the way. Bengals up 14-0 on the Browns. Lions up 13-0 on the Vikings. Titans up 7-3 on the Jaguars. About 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Jets lead the Patriots 3-0 near the end of the first. Falcons Saints. That is a game that we are keeping our eye on. The Falcons need to win, and they need a Buccaneers loss to win the NFC South. Falcons right now lead the Saints 14-7. 4 minutes left in the first, and Buccaneers Panthers are scoreless in the first quarter.
Actually, that just changed. DJ Chark catching a touchdown for the Panthers, 6-0. That just happened.
Oh, boy.
Although, no, they're saying it might be out of bounds, but I think they're giving it to him. Nope, 6-0.
So where I will be going in our game, or in my next game, is this Bills-Dolphins game. Bills are a 3-point favorite. I am taking them to cover. The Dolphins, they got injuries on the defensive side. I mean, I haven't seen if Jalen Waddle is set to play or not. I know that Raheem Mostert isn't going to play. So the Dolphins, they're banged up. And I know this is in Miami, but
Waddle is out officially.
There you go. I mean, this isn't looking good for the Dolphins, which is unfortunate because, like I said, it's Papa Joe's Dolphins. I gotta rock with the Dolphins. That's my dad's team. He's had years and years of just wallowing in the depths of the AFC East and just having to lose to Brady, and then Josh Allen comes out of nowhere, and so it's rough. But the way that the Dolphins have been trending, getting blown out by the Ravens last week, and then you lose Chubb for the rest of the year. I mean, this week, and then potential play. The vibes aren't good. And I love the Dolphins. I love Mike McDaniels, but Bills, they're looking for real. So I take Buffalo, covering the 3.
Something you might not like, Joe, but Philadelphia Eagles are visiting the New York Giants. And Eagles are a 5-point favorite. I'm taking the Eagles in points, just because New York. Remember what 3-4 weeks ago when we were talking all about Tommy DeVito.
Tommy DeVito, yeah.
Tommy Cutlets.
Tommy Cutlets. Hey, yeah. Where's that been?
Yeah, I mean, classic case of week-to-week bias, man. Like, greatest, I think New York, wow, Daniel Jones must be sitting at home kind of worried. No.
Not really.
Well, Daniel Jones should be worried for all other sorts of
reasons. A million
but
reasons, but I don't think Tommy DeVito is the main reason he should be worried. But I think Philadelphia, this is a get-right game for them, and this is a game they need to feel good about moving into the playoffs. Whomever is playing the best football at this point in the season is typically the team that's competing for a Super Bowl at the end of the season. So I remember a New York Giants team led by Eli Manning that was 8-8 to kind of start the season, and they won their last, I want to say 8 games of the season or something like that, and that carried into the playoffs, and they end up winning a championship. If you're feeling good, if you're playing well, man, you can carry that week to week. Right now, Philadelphia hasn't figured out a way to right the ship because it has not looked well for them over the past month and a half.
I love it. Big fan of that.
I know. Yeah. I knew you'd like that, bud.
I cut sheetrock with these things. Let's go. And look who they have. See, and then they put
nips.
Where's Dak? Where's Dak on this NFL Red Zone graphic?
They put good players up there.
Sorry. Jordan, your next pick.
I'm going to go with the Raiders. So I actually think that under Antonio Pierce, they've been pretty good. The fighting Antonio Pierce is pretty similar to the fighting Rich Bisaccia, as I do feel like that their owner should just, hand over the keys and see what they can do with him. Final game of the season, they're going to try and show owner Davis that. Over the Broncos, they are 3-point favorites at home. I don't usually like to take whole numbers, but I'm going to take a whole number here. I'm going to say Vegas -3 at home afternoon game versus the Broncos today.
Okay. I am looking at this Seahawks-Cardinals game. You are going to hear that right here on the Fan. 1080 The Fan pregame starts right after us. Game will kick off at 1:25 in Arizona. Seattle is a 3-point favorite, but the Cardinals, you want to talk about a feisty team trending right? That's Arizona. They were able to upset Philadelphia last week. In the last few seconds, they did lose in Chicago the week before and get blown out by the 49ers, but they have been putting up points. They beat the Steelers the week before that, 24-10. I say the Cardinals will cover the 3 and have the Seahawks puckering throughout that game. Feel like the Seahawks will pull it out in the end, but the Cardinals, they're going to go off into the sunset, into next year with Kyler Murray, Jonathan Gannon, and this team feeling much better about themselves than they did at the beginning of the season. Remember the whole Jonathan Gannon clip to start the year? They're like, how'd you get into work? Did you take the bus? Did you drive here? Did you have fire in your belly? Everybody was like, dude, this guy, what the hell is he talking about? Well, turns out he might actually be able to coach a team. And I think they end on a positive note. Not a win, but at least keeping it close against Seattle and covering the 3. God help me.
Well, I wish my last pick was as positive as yours. Our home team, the Portland Trailblazers, are visiting the Brooklyn Nets.
Yikes.
They're an 8.5-point favorite, Brooklyn is. However, I think it's going to be much more than that because this Blazers team is not very good.
As Joey would say to other gamers, they're dog water.
They're dog water. That's exactly what that is. I know what that means. No DeAndre Ayton for the Blazers. No Matisse Thybulle, who's been a really good defensive kind of.
The Blazers are missing 3 to 5 key players again.
But everybody from Brooklyn should be playing. Cam Thomas, Nick Claxton, obviously Spencer Dinwiddie, Mikal Bridges. They've got a full squad. I think they beat Portland big, so I think they win by 20.
Win by 20.
Yeah.
Should I increase that spread that the Nets have to cover the 20?
Yeah, it's already 8.5, which is, by basketball standards, still pretty large. You know what I'm saying?
So
I'm
Nets,
going to say 16. I'm going to say 16.
Double
20
it.
is too much. Yeah.
Double it. No, I'll give you just the 8.5. I'll give you mercy there. Jordan, last pick. It's all yours.
All right. Try not to lament too much about my Blazers in my mind while I say this out loud. Scoot sucks. Okay, sorry. I'm moving on.
Not sure that's the case, bud, but
Scoot's been killing last couple games.
He is a teenager rookie. Let's keep that in mind.
Last few games, Scoot's been like 16-5 and something. I was like, hey, man,
we digress. We're already up against
I
it.
know.
Sorry.
Yeah. All right. We're good. Last pick. Oh gosh, sorry. You got me all out of sorts. So I believe that the Packers are gonna slam the Bears today. So much so,
blow them backs out, huh?
Yeah. So much so that there might be I'm not sure what the weather report is in Green Bay, but I don't care.
28 degrees, possible snow, possible rain.
Well, it is going to be
a wintry mix.
It is going to be 1,000% effort from Green Bay versus 1,000% effort from Chicago. Unfortunately, Chicago's not as talented. Green Bay's playing for a lot more today, so I would say that's an easy cover. Green Bay -3 over Chicago.
Yeah, it looks like it's just going to be butt cold there, which is no surprise at this point in Green Bay.
It's no surprise anywhere in the country.
Maybe I should have done an Aaron Jones anytime touchdown. I don't know.
Man, these little prop bets, they're risky. You win with that Will Levis one last time and it didn't hit. I'd say just take the Green Bay to cover and just cross your fingers and hope that happens. I do kind of wish that the Bears win this game because if they knock the Packers out of the playoffs at home, that would be pretty nice to see. Packers have been pretty fortunate over this last 30 years as far as playoffs and quarterback play. So if Chicago was able to go in there and get the win, that'd be pretty hilarious.
That would make the afternoon if Chicago could do that, for sure.
All right, that's Who Do You Love? We wrap up the show next here on 1080 The Fan.
X Golf is the home of indoor golf. We've got a full bar and great food and the world's most advanced golf simulators. Leagues, lessons, tournaments, private events. X Golf in Tualatin, Vancouver, and coming soon to Beaverton. Go to xgolfpnw.com.
In order for small businesses to thrive, they need to be smart, efficient, savvy, staying ahead of the market at every turn, finding ways to
So that Nets game is tonight?
Yeah.
Man,
It's today. It's at noon. So.
Oh, you're in an hour. Boy, I don't know if I've ever been more checked out of a Blazer season in my life. Like the rookie year for Lillard, like I watched that. Like I watched a few games of theirs. Like, I had a little bit of, optimism then. I was a young buck. I was, I think I was 19, 20 years old. It was before life beat me down. It was before being
that time.
It was before being a Blazers fan beat me down, and then it took like 10 years, and then that happened. I remember there was one year also, maybe like 2014 or 15, where a buddy of mine always would be like, "Oh, Blazer game, let's go." And I'm like, "Why? Yeah. I'm like, what are we doing? Why are we really care about that?" And listen, Lillard definitely did keep the viewership numbers up for a while, but as I said in the last segment, it's like. Seems like 3 to 5 dudes a night for the Blazers that would be like, key players like that you would want to maybe all be on the court at the same time to see, get some development as a
young team.
That's kind of important. And then it's like pregame injury report. Jeremy Grant, Shaden Sharp, Scoot Henderson are all sitting. And then the next game, it's
Ruben Boom J is starting tonight.
God.
Then the next game, it's Dominic Ayton and Matisse Thybulle Scooter sitting out. And then it's Simons and Sharp. It's like, are we ever going to just be fully
We didn't have a fully healthy roster until like the 20-something game of the season.
We still don't.
Yeah.
Like, it's rough. I'm just, the ship has sailed on this season. It cracks me up how many people are getting pissed that they're like, why are we not seeing this team play better? Why are we not? Like, we're surprised about that?
Not really. I hope not, at least.
I believe just 2 years left on Chauncey's contract after this season.
Get him the F out. Love you,
All-Star break is
Chauncey.
coming soon.
You're a great player.
She's making a move then.
All right. Thank you all for rolling with us, rock with us. We will be here next week for some NFL playoff action. And we're going to have a national champion in college football at that point, and hopefully they're rocking the blue and maize. Thank you to Rashad.
Go Huskies.
Thank you to Jordan Schultz. Can't believe you're ending the show on that. I hate you so much.
Hey, man, let a naysayer know, bro.
Have a great Sunday. Peace, everybody.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing. Together, millions of things for our planet. Resolve to recycle more. Recycle paper, bottles, and cans directly, and recycle old clothes by donating them. When we each share one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
Hey, Doc, nice office. Quick question. If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll, no question.
Seriously? Have you run payroll before?
Paying my team with Gusto couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next day direct deposits, and automatically files my taxes. Saves me time.
Wow, that's nice.
Over here, Doc. I run payroll too.
Choose payroll without the pain. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
Oh, this cold.
Honey?
Honey?
Honey, you need DayQuil Severe Honey.
DayQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.